Hey y'all, it's Systemshark again, bringing to you another audio commentary for WCReplays.com. This audio commentary copyrighted 2006, WCReplays.com. So don't go stealing it. Guys, I'm in the mood for a marathon. I got like 5 ACs of games that I've played recently that I want to do ACs on. So I don't know how many of these I'm going to submit, but I'm just going to do an AC on every one of them, and we're going to see how it flows. So this first one I'm going to do, I want you guys to get it synced up at the 1 minute and 30-second mark. It's an Orc vs. Night Elf on, what is this? No wood. And when you guys get there, just pause this AC if you need time to get there. If not, we're going to get ready to unpause here in a real short, quick second. Let me just talk about the game for a second. Orc vs. Night Elf, everyone knows that it's probably my least favorite matchup. I'm one of those, I don't like any Orc players. That means Night Elf. I don't like Night Elf as an Orc player because usually dots and dryads and almost anything that they can throw at me, I usually get beat down on. Until recently, I've really been trying to kind of hone my skills versus Night Elf, so we'll see how it goes. This is actually going to be up against the Night Elf player who goes kind of a different build than normal. Anyway, starting with the Keeper of the Grove rather than the Demon Hunter, so we'll see how that works out for him. And I'll go over the kind of things that I can see from both sides, and we'll see how you guys think about it, and maybe it'll help you guys in your games, which is, you know, the whole point to all these audio commentaries anyway, right? Alright, you guys should be there at 1 minute and 30 seconds. If not, again, you can go ahead and pause it, but I'm going to get going. So countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, unpause. Alright, so we're unpaused here. Let's see. I'm going the Blade Master first and a Voodoo Lounge early, so I can buy some items for my Blade Master. The plan is, as you can see, I sent out 2 Scout Peons. These were actually some of my early gold peons that I sent scout around this map. If you're planning on doing harassment, you want to try to get a lot of pressure held throughout the game, or especially in the early part of the game. It's definitely worth the investment, I think, to send out a few peons, 1 or 2, whatever you have to get it done. Now, you don't necessarily have to scout every gold mine. You'll see in this case I found my opponent a little bit early, but even had I hit my opponent not been there, my plan was to send those peons back because I would have been able to assume that he was at the southernmost, completely opposite 6 o'clock position from me on this map, so I would have been able to go there. So I get out there, buy my items with my Blade Master, get 2 Clarity Pots, a Healing Salve, and Scroll Speed. Pretty common items to get. This build, this kind of harassment style, really helps versus, or when you're trying to do a fast tech type of build, when you want to be able to tech relatively quickly and beat your opponent out in tech, you have to keep him busy. Unfortunately, my opponent, who has gone Keeper of the Grove, is also trying to do a little bit of early game harassment, although he hasn't teched yet, and he seems to be going for, he's got a Hunter's Hall coming and a few Archers coming out. So it looks like he's doing something a little bit different, not necessarily going for a fast tech build. So I'm bring my Blade Master and immediately start taking these Wisps out in his base. He's got his Keeper near my base, and he's going to go for the Tree Ants and start using those as summons to try to attack my burrows. So he had really bad Wisp placement earlier on. I was able to kill 1 really easily. I think I'm going to be able to get 2 or 3 here. But he blocked off his Moonwells and his passage for these 2 other Wisps, which you see are kind of low on life, 45 and 50 life. They're able to get out pretty quick. So I didn't want to risk taking any more damage. There was no point to it for my Blade Master. And knowing that the Keeper was in my base, I had to get back there relatively quickly, or this is really going to interrupt my fast tech kind of strategy that I'm going for. So he was able to kill 1 peon. And right now I'm able to fully concentrate on microing peons in and out, repairing my burrows so he doesn't get any more kills on my peons. And this is kind of wasting his time here. He could be creeping everything, but bringing my Blade Master back. On the way back, I'm using my Clarity Pots and Healing Salve so I can put up a little bit of a fight versus this Keeper of the Grove. In hindsight, I probably should have stopped by a Goblin Merchant and picked up some Boots of Speed. I think they were about ready right as soon as it turns nighttime. Should have been able to pick those up, and then I would have been able to chase his Keeper better. So I chase him a little bit, mainly just to try to get him, hey, stay away from my base, I don't want you around. That Wind Walk was basically there to scare him and push him back a little bit further. And I do end up buying Boots of Speed now, just in case I have to chase him down. My plan is, Keeper of the Grove is a relatively weak hero throughout the game, and in going Blade Master, he's got the advantage versus the Keeper of the Grove, especially Keeper of the Grove, who doesn't go the Ensnare early. The Ensnare really kind of messes up with, especially with archers, to focus fire individual units. So I'm sticking outside his base for a little while. I just want to get a little bit more mana from my Clarity Potion. And as soon as I get 75 mana, I'm going to Windwalk and try to see if I can find him. Assumption was right that he's trying to creep out these gnolls. Normally I would try to still these kills with the gnolls, but this time I just decided to wait to let him finish. And I was hoping to catch him off guard a little bit, but I got blocked by some archers here, and I wanted to try to get the kill on the Keep of the Grove, which he was using to tank those creeps. Usually it's a good idea, especially when you're close to your base, to let your hero take the hits other than your archers and things like that, especially when you're going up against an orc opponent who's opting for a really aggressive Blade Master. He does some really good moves here. He's just got some Moonwells that he's able to use and keep his Keeper of the Grove alive, and he's using his archers to focus on my Blade Master. I do some bad bit of timing here, and I was waiting for mana for my Windwalk at 73 mana. I almost had it, but I did pop that speed scroll to try to get away at the last second, but he was able to heal his Keeper again. He got level 2 off killing my Blade Master, but at this point in the game, I did enough of keeping him busy, I think, to make my little harassment worthwhile. I still don't have really any units. I'm building my first Grunt now out of my barracks, and my Stronghold is almost complete, so I do have a bit of a tech advantage here. Actually, never mind. His tech is almost at tier advantages too, so we're about pretty close to the same tech here. Before I get to tier 2, I wanted to get that War Mill up, but I was a little bit late in that, so that's going to delay if I wanted to build any defensive structures or towers or anything like that. I also made a mistake here of building this Orc Burrow in a very bad place, and luckily my Blade Master came out before it was finished, and I was able to cancel it, and I'm going to rebuild it again. Got my Blade Master stuck between those trees and things. That would have been a real pain in the butt at this point in the game. So now I'm kind of done with the harassing. If I wanted to continue harassing, I would have gone to the Goblin Merchant and bought a the Wand of Teleportation, or Wand of Teleportation, or whatever that is, so I could harass his base and his peons, and then especially if he wasn't near his base, I would have been able to just quickly get out and go back to mine and heal up. So instead of doing that, I've opted to try to creep a little bit. I want to get my heroes up in levels. A level 3 Blade Master with level 2 Critical Strike really helps when taking out lowly int heroes like the Keeper of the Grove and also like the Archmage and things like that. So definitely want to try to level him up a little bit. The cool thing about fast teching is your secondary hero usually can come out around the time that about the same time as your Blade Master is maybe halfway or 3/4 the way at this from my replay the way through this level, so you can kind of level them together. You don't necessarily have to split them up. I know a lot of the times you see with a Farseer and Tauren Chieftain build, especially in the pro games, you'll see the Farseer trying to kind of harass the opponent while the Tauren Chieftain and Grunts and maybe a raid or two are trying to creep to get that Tauren Chieftain matched with levels with the Blade Master or with the Farseer. And in this case, I want both heroes to be about the same level, so I'm trying to keep everybody together. And I'm going in with just a few Grunts and my Blade Master. I wanted to... this was in my mind. I was thinking I could take out a tier 2 building. Luckily, he built his Ancient of Lore a little bit late, and I was able to get in here, and I'm going to get him to be able cancel this. Fortunately, he did get his Ancient of the Wind out. From these building choices, I can definitely see that my opponent's going for some kind of a mix. I know we had archers earlier. He's got Ancients of the Wind, so I can kind of assume Druids of the Talon from that. And also he was going Ancient of Lore, so I can kind of assume Dryads from that. So he's definitely going kind of a... I don't know if that's not called the 4-unit mix. I don't really know what that strategy's called for Night Elf, but this guy's doing a lot of kind of non-standard stuff. He has built a Tree of Life up at the 6 o'clock position on the Turtle Rock here, and he's going to use that Tree of Life to creep the rock golem camps and things like that by his base. I did happen to see him with my Blade Master as I was poking my head into his base. I saw him and his archers kind of stuck in the middle there. So immediately I'm going in with my Keeper of the Grove, with my Shadow Hunter, and with my Blade Master. I'm going to try to focus fire this Keeper of the Grove. At level 2, he's again still really weak. At a lot of points in the game he's weak. And especially right when I get Hex out, this is going to force him to use a Town Portal. He doesn't want to lose his Keeper at this point, especially since he's trying to creep this southern expansion spot with just his Tree of Life. He's having to eat a lot of trees to keep his Tree of Life alive. And I was able to force a Town Portal by his Keeper of the Grove. I actually do that quite a few times in this replay, you'll see. So he brings his Keeper out. Looks like he was going to try to help back up with his Tree of Life. But I think he changes his mind and comes back to try to heal a little bit with his Moonwells. Nope, he's bringing his army to help him do it. while he's doing this, I kind of think I have a little bit of free time. It's not nighttime, so I know his Moonwells aren't rejuve completely yet. So I'm using my Shadow Hunter